Hi, I'm James Matthews-Paul, and I'm reporting for Output Magazine at the HP stand at FESPA Digital 2011, and I'm here to talk print with an old industry friend of mine, Stephen Goddard, who's the Environmental Leadership Program Manager for the Graphic Solution business here at HP. Hi, Stephen.
Morning, James.
I hope you're having a good show so far, and I just wondered if you could give me a bit of a recap of the media take-back scheme that I know that you often give us quite a lot of information about.
Okay, I will do. I'll just start by reminding people how easy it is to use. I mean, it's a scheme where we take back actually 5 different media, which are based on HDPE and PET media. Things like our green banner product that we have here, HDPE reinforced banner being one, this being another. And to use the program, you simply, when you finish with a sign, pack it into the box, pack it up, go online to hp.com/recycle, request a pickup, and we come and pick it up within 5 working days and come and take it away and ensure that it's recycled. The program, frankly, had a slow start because we found that we were having trouble communicating it to the people who right at the end of the line who were taking the media down, that they could actually really recycle this media. But we've had, I think, more success of late by working with some big organizations that are actually able to communicate to their own staff about the program. So here in Europe, we've got Swisscom, who are just starting to use it now in their retail stores around Switzerland. And in the States, it's going to be used at the Sustainable Brands Conference next month. They're actually, all the signage for that show, they're going to take it down, pack it up and send it back to the program. So, quite a few developments there.
That's really impressive, and it's always good to hear. I think that one of the things that's difficult maybe for PSPs is to get, as you said, the take-up's been a little bit slower, but maybe it's because they aren't used to having to get those things recycled just yet. And I wonder, I mean, I enjoy talking to you about green issues in the industry because I know that you always keep yourself up to date, obviously, as that's your role at HP. I'm wondering, is green back? Now, 2007, we saw a lot of manufacturers and people in the media space sort of banging the green drum, a lot of greenwash, some people might say, and then that sort of got shelved when we had more economic problems, so a couple of years later. Now, is green back? Is the industry ready? And what sort of trends have you been noticing?
Yeah, so I'd say that the green is back, and this time it's different. So why is it back? Well, one key statistic that we've seen is some work that was done by FESPA and Infotrends last year. They surveyed PSPs in both North America and Europe. And one of the questions that they asked them was, are you seeing more demand for sustainable printing, sustainable prints from your customer base? And in North America, 27% of those that were interviewed said, yes, we are seeing more demand. In Europe, the figure was 56%.
Wow.
So, and particularly here in Europe, it's really taking off again. Why do I say it's different this time? Well, I think there's a couple of differences. First of all, there's a lot more solutions out there for people to use to offer responsible solutions. Things like our latex technology here, things like all of the media that you're seeing around at the show that offer environmental benefits versus the traditional PVC media, etc. And I think that also, some of the major brands are now being a lot more demanding now, and they're actually much clearer about what they want and what they're expecting in terms of environmental responsibility, both from the prints that they buy and the print service providers that they work with.
I think you're absolutely right. We've got Plan A at M&S. I know that you said earlier that H&M is also quite responsible in that regard. Now, we can see that the brands are driving responsibility by asking more of their PSPs in terms of sustainable programs. But do you think that we as an industry are still a little bit resistant? Because, there's still lots of solvent technologies out there. There's still a lot of media that can't be recycled. Are we reluctant to change somehow in the wide format graphic arts production space?
Well, I think there has been a reluctance to change, particularly over the last few years, because of a couple of beliefs out there. One is that people didn't see their customers asking for it, and the other was a widespread understanding that customers wouldn't pay for it, even if they wanted it. As we've covered, I think that they are asking for it much more now. Will they pay extra for it? I believe that customers won't pay extra, but it can still be a great business proposition for you. Because it's a great way to differentiate your product from the guys across town, and if you're able to offer a much more environmentally responsible solution at a similar price to your competitor, many customers would prefer that.
And that also means that PSPs who maybe haven't had so much access to big brands in their local area might actually start hitting and punching above their weight, perhaps, by getting those people interested with their more environmental solutions. Just one last question I wanted to ask you, Stephen. I see you as a bit of an environmental leader in this industry, and I wonder what's the final thing that we need to tackle? What's the kind of the elephant in the room at the moment, as you might say?
Okay, well, this is something that we talked about a little earlier. So it's the big thing that nobody's talking about in the industry.
I think I just stole your phrase as well.
So it's the big thing that no one's talking about, but really the biggest environmental impact in the whole industry, and it's really the number of wasted prints out there, and a figure that we've got a couple of good data points that about 25 to 30% of the point of sale signage out there is never used. It's never actually hung up in a store.
That's an incredible amount.
Indeed it is, and it's not out of line with other parts of the industry. We see similar figures for books and marketing collateral and newspapers, etc. And why is that? Well, it's fundamentally to do with the traditional ways of printing marketing collateral using technologies like screen, like offset. The economics of those technologies encourages you to print in centralized locations in very long runs. It incentivizes print buyers to buy more than they really need, perhaps 10 or 20% more than they really need, because it's relatively cheap to do so, and it's going to be a hassle to go back and order a few more prints if they need them. So, what we see now is that digital on-demand technology coming in and actually offering a different a way of actually tackling these very high levels of waste. Solutions like our Cytex FB7500 printer, that's can substitute screen technology. And it enables you to print much better just what you need when you need it and where you need it. Perhaps you can split up the print job between a number of locations closer to the point of end use. It's much easier to order reprints if you need them in short runs, so print buyers are less incentivized to over order. And of course you've got all the variable data capabilities of digital as well, which means that you're much better able to target the prints that you produce for the particular retail locations where you're going to use them.
Absolutely, and I think that just following on from that point, I think education is going to be key in changing this philosophy of waste. Stephen, it's been absolutely great talking to you, catching up to Talk Print with you. Thanks for talking to Output.
Thanks very much indeed, James.
And have a great show.